What's up, guys and gals? It's your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the latest chapter review for Ayakashi Triangle, Chapter 64. We get a really nice Halloween cover page for this particular chapter, and I definitely enjoyed it. You guys should definitely go check it out if I can't seem to, for some reason, use it as my thumbnail. Now, I thought that Mai had taken over at the end of the last chapter. I thought it had automatically taken over Hinojiki, but they seemingly are still continuing the conversation. Mai is going to do something a little later in the chapter. It's not really retconning, it's just the difference of how things go down, I guess. So Hinojiki ends up revealing that he's lost his appetite. We already know this information. He's lost his appetite, and he's a Jinyu that exists to eat. He's useless because his sole purpose is to eat, and he has no appetite. He's useless as a Jinyu, he's useless as a person, he's useless as everything. Now, of course, Suzu and stuff are trying to tell him, you're not useless, you can be reborn, etc., etc. This is when Mai's seemingly curse ability ended up happening. It's explained by Matsuri's grandfather far better. Now, Hinojiki at this point is starting to become our anti-hero. He's starting to turn sides because he says, you know, that woman is going to use me and dispose of me, and tells them all to run, get far away from me. He doesn't want to eat them. He doesn't want to hurt them anymore. Very, very odd, realistically, because when you think about it, I did praise the last chapter very heavily for this, though I think we needed a little bit more of the transition between Hinojiki being just straight-faced fucking evil to this. I think we needed a little more time to explore why he's like this. Now, I know the manga is very straight in your face, front face forward sort of idea, but I think we needed just a little bit more for him to get this caring from the most evil person that we've met in the series to this. There wasn't enough transition. I will take a point off for that, but either way, it's still a very good storyline that we're going with here and continuing on in this chapter. The eye patch has fallen out. We get the engulfing shadow, the hungry mouth on his stomach this time, and it's very different. His eye is revealed to be like a Tokyo Ghoul eye sort of idea. And as I said, between Shirogane and Matsuri's grandfather, they explain that the ability is controlling Hinojiki instead of the other way around. And Matsuri's grandfather basically said Shadow Mai clearly did something to him. It's like the adrenaline rush you get in an emergency. She's removed the limiter on his Ayakashi power, and it's going out of control. It's going berserk, right? So they realize that this is going to be a very difficult battle. This is where Matsuri's grandfather steps up and says, "There's no choice but for me, Saijin Kazamaki, to handle this." And even Shirogane's like, oh shit, whoa, we got old man Rayleigh up in here, right? Like we're going all board. And he threw his back out. I know it's a comedy, I know that's part of the fun, but I was kind of disappointed, not gonna lie. I know what they were going for, but realistically, could they not have had him do at least one cool thing? Like, this guy is still the head of the Kazamaki clan, he's still the grandfather, he's still probably one of the strongest ninjas, if he was able to go all out. But they're doing this for comedy and stuff like that. Oh, I threw my back out. Oh, and it's like, come on, man. I wanted to see him do something, you know what I mean? So they do come up with a pretty cool, after the panty shot, they come up with a pretty cool actual strategy here, where since Matsuri is not able to use Winjutsu quite yet, and yada yada yada, and they have a nice interaction actually saying, it's trying to, like, my ability is trying to devour you because it couldn't do so last time, but still he looks here and he's not really crying, but it looks like he would if he could, and he's like, I don't want to eat you anymore. And it's like, well, wait a minute now, wait a minute. Once again, this is great character development. It's just coming on a little quick, as I already said, but it's definitely not bad. It's not bad to have this level of character development in Ayakashi Triangle, which is very 1 to 2 dimensional at best. It's nice to have some 3-dimensional character development going on, right? Even if it is a little quick. So either way, Hinojiki is planning to try to destroy himself. Goes into this very interesting looking form. Very bandaged up, big shadow cape. It looks definitely interesting. This is where Suzu decides, okay, I'm going to do this stuff here now. So it's Roka and, what's her name, Une, the mirror. They all start working together, create a mirror of ice. They use mirror world intake, and boom, they transport. Hinojiki, Suzu, Roka, Shirogane, and Une all go. The grandfather and Matsuri stay behind, and even Matsuri's like, what wait a minute, what about me? I'm still a ninja. I can't use Winjutsu. I've got a dagger here. I've got a kunai. Like, what the hell? You know, so Matsuri was left behind. And they've been thrown into the mirror world now. So it's going to be, now we're going to have a much different fight. This is actually quite interesting, actually. I think this is a cool direction, cool dynamic. I did not expect this to happen when Hinojiki started going crazy. Though I am disappointed that we won't see Matsuri's grandfather go all out or anything like that, or like be like, sit down, boom, and do something like a Jinyo of this caliber, pshaw, boom, paw, lion paw down. We're not going to see that, but this is an interesting dynamic. This is interesting. Roka and Suzu teaming up to fight against a Jinyo. I'm good with that and stuff, right? And they decide that, like, yeah, I'm sorry for getting you guys into this, but of course we're all friends. We're going to do this together. Shirogane is along for the ride. Now, Shirogane also thinks that they should basically kill him, but Suzu's trying to save him. Now, Mai is very upset by this. Protecting Matsuri and saving Hinojiki, she says. Suzu trying to protect everyone, trying to save everyone, makes me want to vomit. Makes me want to puke. And it's just like, okay, all right. So, she's very bitter because remember where she comes from. She's like, you think you're invincible. And of course Suzu doesn't think this, but the line of reasoning that she goes down is like, you think everything will work out. You think you're invincible because you're the king of the Ayakashi, that you're the Ayakashi medium. I'm going to show you exactly how wrong a line of thinking that is. And we understand from her perspective why that is. Suzu does not have the unlocked memories of all the times she's been killed, murdered, all this stuff. Mai does. Shadow Mai has all the memories of being constantly persecuted and treated as a witch and etc., all this time. So she's got the bitterness there going like, you know, the Ayakashi medium, what does that even mean anymore, you know? So definitely a very good chapter. I enjoyed the chapter. As I said, my one disappointment, of course, was not getting to see Elder Man Kazumaki actually go all out, do a fight sort of idea. I was like, oh, this is hype. And then even Shirogane's hype. And it's like, no. So that was a little disappointing. But either way, the chapter, I like the direction of the story. As I said, last chapter was fantastic. This one is no slouch either. And I think they're doing really well. So let me know what you guys thought about Ayakashi Triangle Chapter 64 in the comment section down below. And let's go over our 4 tenets for this review. Let's talk about it. Let's go. Like the video. Comment on the video. Subscribe to my channel. And the 4th and most important thing, drink responsibly. As always, as your host with the most, Griever always does. And we will see you guys back here next time for Chapter 65 of Ayakashi Triangle. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. See you next time.